Hello everyone and welcome all of you to Unacademy, a place where you can crack your toughest of examinations with top educators, quality content, and also great learning experience. Therefore, I welcome all of you on Unacademy to crack your 9th and 10th examinations. Well, with Unacademy, you get the access to unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. And here I welcome all of you to crack your 9th and 10th examinations on Unacademy. But let me first introduce myself. I am Tasneem Ahmed and I have completed my Master's and MPhil in English. I have also been certified in TESOL and I have trained 1,000 plus students and I have 8 years of professional teaching. In this video, we will be discussing about all the concepts that we have learned in the month of September. I'm going to be taking you through each and every concept that we have discussed as a recap, just to see if you have not forgotten the concepts. But first, let me give you a little more information about what you can expect with Unacademy. Well, Unacademy has daily live classes, it has live tests and quizzes, and it has structured courses, and of course, unlimited access, which you will be able to get on the subscription. You buy one subscription and you will get the access to all our live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your devices. All you have to do is buy the subscription and get free live classes and prepare with our top educators and get the comprehensive syllabus of mathematics, social science, Hindi, science, and also English. Besides this, you also can talk to us on a Telegram application. All you have to do is download the Telegram application, type the link in the URL and click on join and you will be good to go. And then you will have to download the application, that is Unacademy Learning App. And the final step is for you to buy the subscription. That is, you have 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, and also 48 months. Each of these subscription has got a limited amount of discount on that. That is, 6 months has got 33% and 12 months plan has got 50%, and then 24 months has got 58, and then 60, and then 67. It goes on. But along with the available discount, you also have additional 10% off discount with the code TA01. If you type the code TA01 while you proceed to pay, you get extra additional 10% on the existing discount. That is, if you buy the subscription of 12 months, you get 50% plus 10% if you type the code TA01 and you get 60% of discount and you will only be paying 1,125 for a month. The course, which is there for 15,000 rupees, will now be available only for 13,500 rupees after typing the code TA01. Remember this and go ahead, and if you are a 9th grader or a 10th grader, 11th or a 12th grader, go ahead and buy the subscription for 12 months and avail the benefit of this code. Take that extra 10% of discount and buy the course and start preparing for your examinations today. Let's get started with the recap of all the concepts that we have learned in the month of September. Number 1, we learned about sentence and types of sentences. Well, the first question is, what is a sentence? A sentence is a combination of words put together and ends with a period and also makes complete sense. That is what is called as sentence. Well, we have different types of sentences. To start with, we have declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory sentences. Well, declarative sentences are called as assertive and also as statements. Well, these statements end with a period and they state a fact and make assertions. They are further divided into affirmative and negative sentences. Number 2 is we have interrogative sentences. And these sentences ask questions. They demand answers and they end with a question mark. And then you have the imperative sentences, which make requests, give commands or orders, or offer suggestions and also advice. And they end with a period. Then you have exclamatory sentences which express strong emotions and end with an exclamation mark. So these are the types of sentences that we have. Next, we learned about parts of speech. We have 8 parts of speech, and number 1 is a noun. Noun is actually a name of a person, place, or a thing. And then we have pronouns like he, she, it, they, etc. These are the replacement of nouns. And then you have adjectives which describe the noun. And then you have verbs which are the action words. And then you have adverbs which describe the verbs. And then you have prepositions which show the position and are placed in front of the nouns. And then you have conjunctions like and, but, or, which link or which connect to words or to clauses or to phrases. And then you have interjection, words like wow or hooray and alas. When you are expressing these words with strong emotions, you call these words as interjections. So these are the 8 parts of speech that we have. Next, we learned about subjects, predicates, phrases, and clauses. Now let me explain you what these are. To explain this, let me write a statement that is, she got her a gift. Now in this statement, the first thing that we have to figure out is what is a subject? Well, subject performs the action. Subject is a person, noun, or a pronoun which performs the action. So in this statement, who is performing the action? She. She is the one who is performing the action. Therefore, she is your subject. Now, predicate is the part which has the verb. Now, in this statement, you have the got is your verb. So, predicate is a part of the statement which has a verb. So, our predicate is got her a gift. This entire part is called as predicate. Now, the third one is object. And what is an object? Object is the one who receives the action. Subject is the one who does the action, and object is the one who receives the action. That is, in this statement, if you take this, now this got is your verb, right? Got is your verb. Now, who is receiving this action? Sorry, I got erased this as well. Yeah. So who is receiving this? Her and also gift. Both are the objects over here. One is a direct object, which is this, and another one is indirect object. Well, how do you figure out which is a direct object and an indirect object? Is by asking the question what or who. So when you ask the question what or who, you get the answer of direct object, as in what did she get? She got a gift. To whom did she get? She got it for her. Therefore, this is your indirect object and this is your direct object. So these are your objects, these are your subjects, and this is your predicate. Now let me write another statement to explain you what are clauses and phrases. For example, if I write the statement, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Now, if I write this statement, in this complete statement, I have this, which is our clause. And what is a clause? Clauses are complete thoughts with subject and verb. So if I take this as a clause, we have a subject which is sun and rises as our verb. Therefore, subject and verb. So this becomes our clause number 1. And then we have sets in the west. So this is our another clause. So these are clauses. Well, what are phrases? Phrases are nothing but words like in the east or in the west. A part of a clause is referred to as phrase. Clauses are complete thoughts, whereas phrases are just a bunch of words put together. That's it. So these are clauses and also phrases. The next is the noun types and the functions. Well, there are different types of nouns like proper nouns, common nouns, collective nouns, abstract nouns, concrete nouns, material nouns, compound nouns, and possessive nouns. Let me take you through each and every noun, that is proper noun and common noun. And for that, I want you to focus on this example, which is India is a country. And the question that I want you to ask is, how many Indias do we have, by the way? Well, the answer is just one. India is just one of a kind, right? And this is a name of a place, and this is your proper noun. Similarly, how many Akbars? Just one. It's a name of a person. Sally is also one. But when it comes to country, king, and teacher, country, when I say how many countries? Well, of course, many countries. How many kings? Many kings. How many teachers? Of course, many teachers. That is why they qualify as our proper nouns. Sorry, common nouns. Proper nouns are these and common nouns are these. Next is the collective nouns. Collective nouns are nothing but the names given to collections. Collection of birds, collection of players, singers, musicians. Now, collection of birds are called as flock. Collection of players are a team. Collection of singers are a choir. And then a band, a bunch, a family. All these are collective nouns. And then you have abstract nouns like happiness, sadness, truth, charity, freedom, victory, and anger. All these are the nouns which you are supposed to feel within. Now, if I say happiness, can you actually touch happiness? Of course not. You, in fact, have to feel it within. Similarly, sadness is also supposed to be felt within. Just like the way truth, charity, freedom, victory, anger, all these are not tangible. They are supposed to be felt within. That is why they are called as abstract noun. The opposite of abstract noun is the concrete noun, which are actually perceived through our five senses. That is the sense of taste, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the sense of smelling, and the sense of touch. So when you taste, we have nouns like salty, spicy, bitter, and then also food. And then when we see, we can see sun, moon, fish, water. When we can hear bells, thunder, and noise. We can smell perfume, incense, and flower. We can touch cloth, book, and pen. All these nouns are called as concrete when we are able to perceive these nouns through any one of the senses that we have. Then we call them as concrete nouns. The next we have are the material nouns. Material nouns are those through which things are made, like the cheese is made of milk, the cake is made of cheese, the bread is made of flour, the ring is made of gold. So these are your material nouns because we are making other things out of these nouns. The next is the compound noun. Compound noun is actually two nouns being put together and then creating a new noun out of it. That is police, number one, man, number two, and we have policeman as one noun. Similarly, butterfly, watermelon, and ice cream. And then we have possessive nouns. Well, what is the meaning of possessive? Possessive means actually showing the possession or the ownership. Now, if we take the example which is given over here, which is the car's keys were missing. The car's keys. You can see that there is an apostrophe and also letter S over here. The car's keys, the boy's lunch, Freddie's laptop. So these are referred to as, along with the apostrophe and the S, we call it as possessive nouns. Well, let us learn about the functions of the nouns. A noun functions like a subject, an object, subject complement, object complement, and a positive and an adjective. Just a little while ago, I told you what is a subject. Subject is the one who does the action. And an object is the one who receives the action. And this is our verb. And subject complement. Well, what is the meaning of the word complement? Complement means a word or a phrase or a clause that actually completes the statement. And here we have to learn about the subject complement. So Francis is your subject. Francis is a delegate. So what is completing the statement over here? The word delegate is completing. Therefore, this is our complement. Similarly, Eddie is a friend. Friend is your complement. Susan is a manager. So manager is your complement. These are your subject complements. Next is your object complement. Just like I told you a little while ago, complement is nothing but the word which completes the statement and it comes at the end. And here we are talking about the object complement. An object always comes after the verb, that is our son. We named our son. And what word is completing the sentence over here? The word Ben. Well, isn't Ben a noun here? And it qualifies as our object complement. Similarly, I call my dog Weenie. Complement. The team selected Kohli, the captain. Complement. Akbar named Salim his successor. A complement. Object, complement. The next one is the appositive. Appositive is nothing but, supposing if you take the example here, my friend, which is actually a noun. And what do we have over here? Penny, which is another noun. So we can see that there is a noun and soon after the noun there is another noun. So when you have a noun next to the noun, the second noun is called as an appositive. Here Penny is your appositive and here my teacher Mrs. Amy. Mrs. Amy is your appositive. My friend's dog Weenie is your appositive and Jawaharlal Nehru, the freedom fighter, is your appositive. So appositive is nothing but the second noun which comes next to the noun is your appositive. Next is adjective. Well, adjective is a word that describes a noun, right? She is my English teacher. This is our noun. But what do we have before that? It's a noun. But isn't it describing the noun? Therefore, it is your adjective. Similarly, research center, cricket player, coffee mug, summer vacation. So you have nouns describing other nouns qualifying as your adjectives. The next is the noun number. When I say noun number, I am talking about the singular and the plural nouns. What are singular nouns? The one which are referred to singularity as number one alone. And when you refer to them as in plural, as more than one, you call them as plural nouns. The standard rule of singular to plural is by adding letter S. Like tree, trees, plant, plants, bag, bags, castle, castles. But there are other rules as well, which I will take you through, like when the words end with letter S, SS, SH, CH, X, Z. The plural is formed by adding ES, like buses, classes, dishes, churches, boxes, and buzzes. You can see that the words are ending with X, Z, and other words that I just mentioned. So when you have these words, you take ES as your plural form. Next is when the words end with O, like hero, volcano, potato, buffalo, and mango. The plural is completed by adding ES, like heroes, volcanoes, potatoes, buffaloes, mangoes. But there are few exceptions, like even though if the nouns end with O, they do not take ES. Like they just take S alone. No ES, but then S alone, like pianos, kilos, potatoes. Ignore this. And stereos and logos. And then you have words ending with Y and you have consonant in front, like baby, army, story, city. You have consonant in front. In this particular situation, you drop the Y, you drop the Y, you drop the Y, you drop the Y, and you add IES to make it a plural. But supposing if you have words like these, where you have the letter ending with Y, but you have a vowel. In this scenario, you do not drop the Y, but you in fact keep it intact and just add letter S to make it a plural. The next rule is, when you have words ending with F or FE, you drop VF and FE and add VES to make it as plural. But again, there are exceptions to these, like word for nouns like safe, chief, gulf, chef, proof, and cliff. They just take letter S. They do not take VES. They do not drop anything, and they do not take VES as either. They just take the letter S. The next is another exception, like scarf, dwarf, hoof, handkerchief, and wharf. These words actually conform to both the rules, like VES and S as well. You can either write it with VES by dropping F, or you can just go ahead and add letter S. Both are accepted cases. The next is when you have words like ox, oxen. You can see that you do not add S or ES or IES or VES. All you do is you just go ahead and change the word. Ox becomes oxen, child becomes children, foot becomes feet, man becomes men. So these type of words are plural. The words which change, these are the plurals of these words: ox, child, foot, man, mouse, louse, goose, tooth, and woman. Then you have other words like sheep, deer, salmon, aircraft, dozen, fish, and fruit, which are similar in both singular and plural. They do not change their form. They remain intact both in singular and plural. Then we have other nouns like these: scissors, pants, shorts, trousers, tongs, glasses, and spectacles. They are already plural. They are never used in singularity. They are always used in plural because of the fact that they have two sections: one, two, one, two, one and two, one and two. Because of this fact, they are always used in plural with S with them. They are never used in singularity. Similarly, we have other nouns which are always used as singular, like abstract nouns and uncountable nouns, like information, furniture, charity, kindness, honesty, knowledge, happiness, and sadness. These are always used in singular. They are never converted into plural forms. We have compound nouns which are like these: teacher, in charge, passer by. To convert these compound nouns into plural, we add letter S to the principal word, like teachers in charge, passers by, commanders in chief, daughters in law, sisters in law, lookers on. So this is the rule of compound noun. The next one is you have nouns ending with S, like news, physics, mathematics, billiards, measles, mumps, and economics. Even though they end with letter S, they are not always plural. The next is the countable and the uncountable nouns. Well, what are countable nouns? Countable nouns are those which can be counted, like, for example, pen, book, or bag. Uncountable nouns are those which you cannot count, like water, oil, butter. These are your uncountable nouns. You can only measure them or weigh them, but you cannot count them, like pens or books or bags. They actually take different types of quantifiers. Like, for example, countable nouns take a, an, the, many, few, a number of. Uncountable nouns take the, much, little, the, and the or an amount of. Well, there are a few quantifiers like more, most, some, any, no, a lot of, plenty of, enough of, all, none of. All these quantifiers, or they're also called as determiners, these determiners are used by both countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Well, the next concept that we learned in this month was articles. Well, articles are of two types. Number one, the indefinite article, and number two, the definite article. We have a, an, and, the, in articles. A and an are called as indefinite, and the is called as definite. Indefinite because it refers to something non-specific. We call the as definite because it refers to something specific. Well, let's learn about indefinite articles. Well, a is used in front of consonant sounds and an is used in front of vowel sounds. Indefinite article is used in front of singular and countable nouns, and they are not used with uncountable and plural nouns. That's the rule of a and an. Next, we have the definite article, which is the. And definite article normally states a specific thing which we already know or is known by everybody, like the apple, the pen, the earth, the sun, the school, the Eiffel Tower, the Burj Khalifa. There's one more factor which you have to notice, that is the pronunciation of the word, the article the. When you are saying the, when you have vowels like a, e, and e here, the pronunciation of this word becomes the. As in like this, the apple, the earth, the Eiffel Tower. But supposing when you have a consonant, the pronunciation remains as the pen, the sun, the school, the Burj Khalifa. And the is used in front of things that we already know or which is known to everybody generally. The next one is the apostrophe. Apostrophe is a kind of punctuation like this and letter S, which is used to show possession or ownership, or even to show contraction. Well, apostrophe is used supposing when you have singular nouns ending with letter S already. Like, for example, bus. It is already ending with a letter S. So what is an apostrophe? Adding an apostrophe like this and adding S. So in this situation, what are you going to do? You can either use the apostrophe or you can go ahead and add letter S as well. That is your choice. You can go ahead and use either this alone or letter S as well. Both are accepted choices. When you have nouns already ending with letter S, in this scenario, you have only one choice, that is adding apostrophe alone. You do not add letter S. This is not accepted. This is applicable only with singular nouns which end with letter S. But if you are using the same with plural nouns, you do not add letter S. You only add the apostrophe alone. Then you have, like I told you, you use the apostrophe and letter S. You have compound nouns, and the compound nouns take the plus S, that is apostrophe and plus S at the ending word, like teacher, in charges. In charges. Here you add the apostrophe and letter S. And then with plural nouns ending with S, take the apostrophe after S. Like I told you over here, after S. And then to show combined possession, as in supposing you have, let us say, Sheldon and Amy. And over here you have to show the possession. You have to say that Sheldon and Amy have let us say Amy's car. Here, car is your noun, and you have to say that this car belongs to Amy and also to Sheldon. And to show the combined possession, it is enough if you use the apostrophe for the last word, the last noun alone. So this alone would suffice. You do not have to show a possession over here. If you do, that means that you are referring to Sheldon's another car and Amy's another car, two different cars. But then if you are referring to one single noun over here, then the apostrophe for the last word would suffice. And apostrophe is also used to express the value, distance, and also contraction. Contraction as in is not. When you put it together, it becomes isn't. So here is your apostrophe. Similarly, we have other contractions as well, like are not, will not, was not, etc., etc. The next is the determiners. Determiners are the words which are used in front of the nouns, which say more about nouns. Let us take a quick recap of that. We have different types of determiners like articles, like a, an, and the. Then you have demonstratives like this, that, these, and those. And then you have distributives like each, every, neither, either. Then you have possessives like his, her, my, our, and their. Then you have quantifiers like many, much, few, little, enough. Then you have numerals like 1, 2, 3, 4, and first, second, third, fourth. And then you have interrogatives like what, which, and whose. Determiners are pretty much like adjectives. I will come to adjectives in a while, but let me first take you through the pronouns. Pronouns are the replacement of nouns. And we have different types of pronouns like personal pronouns, which are referred to people like I, you, we, us, he, she, it, and they. Then you have demonstrative pronouns like this, that, these, those, and such. And then you have indefinite pronouns like everyone, everything, all, some, few, someone, anyone, and many. Then you have interrogative pronouns like what, which, why, when, where, and whom. And then you have reflexive and emphatic pronouns which look pretty similar like himself, herself, yourself, ourself, himself, and themselves. But they are differentiated based on the way they perform, the function they perform. Reflexive is when they reflect back upon the subject. Emphatic is when they emphasize on the subject. Then you have relative pronouns like which, who, whom, whose, that, and where. And then you have possessive pronouns like his, hers, mine, ours, and theirs. And then finally, we have the adjectives, and adjectives are the words which describe the nouns and are pretty similar to determiners when they come in front of the nouns. Well, the adjectives are, the types of adjectives are number one being qualitative, which describe the noun like beautiful, amazing, wonderful, big, small, and large. You have demonstrative adjectives as well, like this, that, these, those, and such. Distributives as like each, every, neither, either. Then you have possessives like his, her, my, our, and their. Quantifiers, which answer the question how much and how many. Words like much, many, little, few, enough, less, no, several. Then you have numerals like 1, 2, 3, 4, first, second, third, fourth, and also fractions like half and 1/3. Then you have interrogatives like what, which, whose. And then you have proper adjectives like Chinese, Indian, Italian, and English, which are derived from proper nouns. Then you have compound adjectives, two adjectives put together like well-behaved, good-looking, well-dressed. These are compound adjectives. Then you have emphasizing adjectives like pure, own, utter, absolute. These are emphasizing. These words emphasize the nouns. And then you have verbs which function like adjectives in a statement. Well, just a little while ago, I told you that determiners are also are pretty similar with adjectives. That is correct. But the question is, how do you differentiate between a pronoun and an adjective or a determiner? That is, supposing if you have a word which is, supposing if you say this book or that book is mine. Let us take a statement like this. This book is mine. So here you have the word demonstrative adjective, that is this, and this is your noun. So when you have a noun and soon right before that noun, if you have these words like this, that, or any other word, for example, then the words, all these words qualify as your adjectives, or you can also call these as determiners. But supposing if you have a statement like, this is my book. Now the noun is pretty far away from the word, right? Demonstrative word, right? Here this qualifies as your pronoun. But supposing if you have right in front, then these words qualify as either your adjectives or your determiners. So these were the few concepts that we learned in this past month. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you remember these concepts before we move on to learning the new concepts. Do not forget to leave your comments below. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to hit that bell icon. And also, do not forget to type that code TA01 to get that extra 10% of discount on your subscription. Do join our Telegram group for our latest updates on our upcoming videos. Well, until then, see you all. Bye bye. Have a good day.